Ghost Stories is the only exception.
Oh
Like,
my
the
god.
meme.
Okay, for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Think of a big black man chasing you. Funny.
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Filler.
Hey guys, welcome back to Bizarre Anime Vibes. I'm your host Jofu, and I'm here with.
Drip Knight, what's up?
And in today's episode, we want to talk about beginner animes, like just animes we think in general if you're first trying to get into it, or just animes we believe everyone should at least watch once in their life.
Oh, 1000%. Honestly, it really does vary, because you could be a noob, never watched anime, and then the beginning anime can dictate your anime journey.
100%.
Because like, if you start with a really good anime, every
Yeah.
trash anime is gonna be like, wow, I hate them.
Every mid anime is going to feel worse than it is, because if you start off too good with like the best of the best, everything afterwards is going to feel worse than it was, and you're going to be expecting that same quantity from the first one.
Exactly, but if you start really trash, you're gonna think all the bad animes. Well, I guess not.
You're gonna, when you see a good one, you're gonna think it's the best thing of all time. So it really is important what your first anime is. Before anything, how are you doing?
Me, I'm doing 80 miles per hour storm. Weather going.
Yeah.
Make power go out.
Lights go out. Then we're just gonna keep it rolling.
Oh yeah, I mean you won't even see us because we're too dark. You're just. All you're gonna hear is just our voices. This will be ASMR.
3 days since Black History Month, and you just couldn't wait.
No, I cannot. How was your day?
It was fine.
How could one sentence ruin it?
Alright guys, before anything else though, don't forget to colossal smash that like button, stay up to date with all our latest content, our podcast, anime, unboxings, all that stuff.
And we always want to say we appreciate your support. Without you guys, we would not be a thing. Bizarre Anime Vibes would just be Bizarre Anime Vibe, with no one to really watch us.
Bizarre Anime Vibes would just not exist. It would just be us talking about like anime stuff in our free time. But with this, we're able to talk and let our opinions be out there for the public to know. So
our bizarre opinions.
Yeah, for sure. Without further ado, let's jump into it.
Do you want to take this first?
I think I have one that's literally the perfect anime.
You have one that's like so perfect.
It's always the one I recommend first for everyone.
Please don't be One Piece.
No,
I beg.
Why would I ever do that to someone?
Thank goodness. I say you better turn so many people away from anime.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, because you can't just jump into One Piece unless you're a big fan of like story building or world building or storytelling
or dedication.
That's what I'm saying. One Piece is really good, but it's not a beginner. It's nowhere near one.
And also, like, if you start with the anime, then like, you're gonna be going from like a slope of this quality of anime to like
post One Piece. I forgot what is it. Post One Piece.
After Fishman Island.
No. What is it called? Post One Piece trauma is a thing where basically after you get caught up on One Piece, everything you watch afterwards just seems worse. That is a real thing. Like Search it up. There's like a thing. But after you get caught up on One Piece, when you start to watch other animes. Like when I mean after you watch one, I mean like after you like watch all of One Piece or you're caught up and that's all you watch for a while.
Mm-hmm.
When you eventually start going to other anime, you complain. You notice a lot of stuff that like, oh, the world building isn't as good, the characters aren't as well written, etc., etc. Like stuff just feels worse because you're so used to everything
making sense.
Yeah. Whereas then it's like, oh, that's a contradiction. You stuff just starts to poke out at you. So that is a real thing, which is why I never recommend One Piece
as your starter.
Because it's just gonna show the flaws of other, or it's gonna make flaws of other anime more apparent.
Okay.
So I would never. It was my second anime I've ever watched. The first one was Fairy Tail. Then I watched all of One Piece, and then I was like, huh, this was a mistake, but yeah.
What is a beginner anime that you would recommend?
Best one of all time for me?
Of all time?
In my opinion, for a beginner.
Oh, you're starting that high? Okay, I'm intrigued. Wait, actually, I was gonna try to say I want to guess, but hit me.
Demon Slayer. Let me explain why.
Okay.
Demon Slayer is really good, but it's not the best of the best, right? Also, it's not really shit. You know what I mean? It's enjoyable. You know what I mean? I don't watch an episode of Demon Slayer like, oh, I'm like, oh, this is up. This is cool. I'm excited for this new episode, right?
So you don't think the bar will be set too high for the animation standards?
The animation standard is the only thing, but the only thing I have to say is this. Demon Slayer's story is lacking in comparison to other anime. So what happens is, I think Demon Slayer is great because it starts you off with like enjoyable characters: Tanjiro, Nezuko, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. All these characters are enjoyable to watch. Rengoku, even the Hashira. The story is pretty easy to follow, and like the animation is very pretty, which I think is a good way to drag people in to understand like the art form that is anime.
I guess it's something I never really I guess the power system makes sense.
It's super
Like
simple to
it's super
follow.
simple, and also like it looks pretty. It looks very pretty. It looks
That's what I'm
really
saying.
hella pretty.
So I think it pushes people to watch more of it. And I feel like if you're starting anime, you also understand like, oh, like if someone recommends you Demon Slayer, they're gonna be like, by the way, the animation is beyond the charts, like off the top, pretty, blah blah. So maybe you have some form of expectation to be like, oh, not everything's gonna be just like this. But even then, with new gen anime, the animation budget just keeps going up. You know what I mean? Like the scene from season 1 where Tanjiro was fighting Ryui, when that dropped, everyone's like, this is the greatest anime fight of all time. Now we're what is it like? What 6 years later? Or not even. And that's like it's like a top. It went from a top 3 fight of all time to a top 10. Like, and even then, top 10 is debatable. Like, it's the point is like
The expectation just keeps
keeps
going
going
higher
up.
and
So
higher
I
and
feel
higher.
like, and also, if you're gonna watch an afterwards a '90s anime and you expect the animation to be that good, I think you're just stupid at that point. Like,
I mean, you would literally have to like watch. Actually, this is a good transition.
okay,
So if we were talking about 90s, I think anime that is not a good beginner's anime is Gundam.
yeah, obviously.
At least 90s anime Gundam. The new one that came out last year, the Gundam series,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of forgot the name, but that one was a good one because it actually started to get me a little bit into Gundam without overwhelming, without the girth of like, because we start with the 90s, there's so much content that I kind of did feel overwhelmed and I quit after like 2
Mm-hmm.
episodes. Plus also that it was 90s anime. I did not vibe with it at all. This new one, I vibed with it. I liked it. And of course, the story did not have anything to do with the original one.
Okay.
So that's why I think that the new one from 2022 Gundam
Mm-hmm. You
is
don't
a
remember the names
good.
out?
I do not remember the name for the life of me, but I do remember it was Gundam 2022. I watched 2 episodes, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and I plan to continue on. I took a break because it was still ongoing,
Okay, so
but
you
by
want like
now,
the episodes to build up, basically.
yeah.
Okay.
So by now it should be done. So I'm probably gonna eventually just sit down and have a great bench sesh. Whether it be in dub or sub, I don't care because it looks pretty and I can actually understand more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna get me to the world. Like,
And just to speak on that, dub or sub, the whole dub versus sub argument, let people enjoy the media how they enjoy it best. Like for me, there's certain dubs I don't like and I refuse to watch personally, but it doesn't mean like if someone else does, I'm gonna like really like
might bash them.
yeah, no, like if you're enjoying your media that way, then yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if someone went to me and said, I watch Konosuba in sub, I'm like, or in dubbed, I'm like,
I mean, I'll tell you,
you get a better experience from sub, I would
I'll tell
say.
them like I personally enjoy sub and I think it's a better experience. But if you're enjoying Konosuba dub, we're enjoying the same thing. Why am I gonna stop you? At the end of the day, it's the same story.
Mm, there are some times when like the dub takes advantage, or not takes advantage, but like censors.
Mm-hmm.
That part I feel as if like for Neon Genesis Evangelion, there's this whole entire controversy about like the dub subbing some words from Shinji that kind of changes how they see the scene. Also for Dragon Ball, like the OG '90s dub
Mm-hmm.
paint Goku as a hero. Original Japanese paint him as a man who just wants to get strong for the sake of
Mm-hmm.
being strong, and also for him wanting to reach his limits and then break through his
My
limits.
thing is this though. At the end of the day, we're all watching the same thing. We're all getting the general idea of the story. There's never been to a point where it completely changes an entire thing. Like,
Four
oh,
kids,
huh?
4 kids.
I mean, yeah, but no one's watching Four Kids Dubs. Like, if you're watching that, that's a
Imagine you
whole
start.
other situation.
Okay, for Yu-Gi-Oh, I'll watch Yu-Gi-Oh 4 kids.
Yeah, but even
I'm
then,
not gonna lie.
exactly. Then there you go. Like, even the dub has some charm to it. My point is, there's never been a dub, besides Ghost Stories, that completely 180s the entire show in,
Oh
like, the
my
meaning
god,
of it.
I forgot Ghost Stories.
Ghost Stories is the only exception, but the dub is even
Imagine,
better.
imagine that was a beginner anime. I wouldn't. Imagine that was your first anime. That would be.
My brother and my sister. Oh, I see.
I think Gintama might be a good
Think of
beginner
a
anime.
big black man chasing you. Well,
Well,
we
he's
know
not
he's not
right.
racist. It was
He's
only
not-
0.1 second faster. Ghost Stories is all whole, like,
Those college students who recorded that and made that.
you know, this is the actual official dub, right?
I know,
Oh,
like
okay.
I
Do you know what happened?
right. Isn't it like it did really so bad that they gave it to college?
No. Basically, Four Kids bought Ghost Stories, right?
Hmm?
But right before, but that like after they bought it, they were like, and they paid all the voice actors and everything. They're like, oh, we're actually not going to air this. Well, we already paid you guys for it, so don't read the script. Just do what you want. Like you can look at the script, like basically just told the voice actors they had free reign to do whatever they wanted, and the result
What
was
streaming platform is it even on now?
I don't even know, but
What
it's
streaming platform would claim that anime? because they're not
Disney.
surviving. They did make Aladdin.
I can't wait to watch Bleach this summer on Disney Plus. Dude. Hi, my name's Ichigo, and you're watching Disney Channel.
You know, JoJo was actually supposed to be on Disney.
God,
If Netflix didn't get it, Disney was actually going to get JoJo.
like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yes. Would have
Oi,
been.
oi. My name is Jotaro Kujo, and you're watching Disney Channel. Do.
That. It's so sad they don't do that anymore.
I mean, they do. They still do it sometimes. It's just not as often.
Aw.
Yeah, but no, it's just I can't imagine that. My name is Dio, and you're watching Disney Channel. Do.
My name is My name is Poochie. He has his Bible.
And you're watching Disney Channel. Do. Read the Bible. Read it now. Like,
Actually, I can see like Jolene's being like okay because of string, and then be like
do.
and it'll be just made out of string. Like there's so many creative.
So another anime I was thinking of that's a good beginner one from personal experience. Like I've had people who don't like anime, and I would recommend them this, and they'd come back to me like, "Oh my god, I love this! This is amazing! I didn't know anime was like this." Death Note. I feel like when people think anime, they think shonen. So to show them an anime like Death Note, where there's no reaction with character like meme faces and all that, and just showing like it's like Chainsaw Man, like you were saying, it feels live action. Obviously, there's like meme faces, but there's nothing like outrageous, like characters' eyes going really big or their mouth like jaw dropping past their face.
I would argue.
In
Same
Death
time.
Note,
Yes.
when?
I would say there's some overreaction when it comes to at least writing the Notebook.
Yeah,
That famous scene of the chip scene.
yeah, where he does that, it's dramatic, but it's not like over. It looks realistic. You know what I mean? Like in terms of human proportions. Like when he gets shocked, like when Elsa, his eyes don't just go and his jaw drops or whatever. It's just more like what?
I guess you know what.
That's what I'm saying.
When
So
it comes to, I think Death Note might have the most realistic anime style
Chainsaw
that I
Man
actually
as
enjoy.
also.
That I
Oh,
enjoy.
wow. Okay, I was gonna say
Chainsaw
because
Man,
you
I
said
cannot.
Chainsaw Man the other day, but
100%, I enjoyed it.
no, but you're saying yeah, it's realistic.
Oh yeah, now that I will fully personally say, Chainsaw Man is going for a realistic personal style.
Yep. Again, just wait till next season drops because I reread it. Every arc after that is just a 10 out of 10. At the very least, 8 out of 10s.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, I think Death Note's really good. The story is very enticing and kind of gives me a lot of like live action vibes from it. Like something you could like. I mean, there was a live action, but we don't talk about it. But I'm saying it's like a live action like story you could see, like a very famous movie or something. The story feels very it feels very simple and real, despite it obviously that no, there's no Death Note in the world as far as we're aware of, but it feels very real and simple, and that anyone could really get into. Like I feel like people who don't like anime are still willing to watch Death Note.
I guess I'm trying to imagine for someone who hasn't watched anime.
Mm-hmm.
Before I watched anime, I was watching a lot of like live action Netflix shows.
Mm-hmm.
So to see Death Note will kind of actually give me some comfort.
Exactly, because you're not pushing them to that in an immediate like battle action.
Yeah, I'm like
blah blah blah. It's
like
like
imagine you offer like someone like well, not actually, no, Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho. No, I don't think I think it's a good beginner.
Okay, I was gonna try to think of like an over like what's like an overwhelming one that I was trying to compare it to like something that's like
That's
so
good.
something that does it that's like completely can only be done in the field of anime and not live action. Trying to think of like that to compare to like
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
well, I guess it's something like JoJo has live action. JoJo has a live action.
Every anime can have a live action. Doesn't mean it's going to be good.
Okay, like Attack on Titan. Like that would be too much to over. Like if
I
you're
think
trying,
Attack on Titan's a really good beginner though. There's literal people I know that have the same thing with Death Note. They didn't like anime at all. They watched the first episode of Attack on Titan, hooked ever since. And now those people are some of the biggest anime fans I know.
for Attack on Titan.
No, in general. It was
just
before then they were anti-anime. Like they were like, "Oh, I don't like anime." They saw the first episode of Attack on Titan, sold.
But Attack on Titan also has like the gore. People
Yeah.
like complain about that and say that's.
I
why
mean,
they
obviously,
don't
if
want
you
to
don't
get
like that,
anime.
that's why I'm saying there's multiple options. But I think if someone doesn't have an issue with gore, AOT is perfect for them.
I guess the first episode, but also people can also well, I guess as a starter,
It's not bad. It's I know what pushed a lot of people to actually start watching more anime was Attack on Titan. Granted, it's really good, so their expectations are high. But even then, it's a good way to at least get people to start watching.
Yeah, that first episode really
I know a lot of people
it
who
does great.
I know a lot of people like I'm not gonna say his name. Well, just cut the part out. Trout is who I'm referring to in this next scene. Like I know this one person who doesn't watch any anime. Like he says he doesn't like anime. It's weird and whatever for him. But he loves Attack on Titan. Like I've literally just been hanging out and I'll just see him like on his phone just watching Attack on Titan clips and stuff. Like that's the only series I know that where he's like, oh, for anime that he just loves. Everything else though he says is weird.
Everything else.
Yeah, but the ones where they have the grown naked people running like this, that's what's up.
And then you have like the Beyblade just coming over, and you literally have a furry, big ass ape
Yeah,
Titan.
obviously it makes sense though. What's weird is the guy who's using a sword and summoning water and fire.
No, what's weird? No, God no. But Attack on Titan, I guess I'll have to give you the points there.
Mm-hmm.
If I start with Attack on Titan as my first beginner anime, I
You have
think
to think first.
first.
No Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball,
Okay, I was
Pokemon.
going with that. I think that would take me down the route of like enjoying gory anime, which I guess, I mean,
Mm,
like I will probably go to like Castlevania. Oh, not Castlevania. What was that other?
Pennsylvania.
Is it Castlevania has anime, right?
Hmm.
But that wasn't the Hell's Paradise. No, not Hell's Paradise. Why do I think it
Um,
was a good
I
one?
feel like Demon Slayer. Like, I mean, obviously, if you're an anime fan, I feel like you're kind of numb to it. But I think Demon Slayer is somewhat gory for what it is. Like the fact that people have their heads cut off and limbs and all that. It's
My
not the goriest, but
my mind is dead. I'm trying to think of that old series, Helsing. Helsing.
don't know
Thank
what it
you.
is.
You know what it is? Okay. Well, a gory anime, basically.
Mm.
Sorry, my mind was just
You got another anime you think is a good beginner though?
a good one for beginner.
Hmm.
Okay, I think just to mix up a bit.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all that stuff. That was our beginners.
That's true. Like Digimon.
Hmm.
What was some other good beginner ones? We already said Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Hmm.
Digimon, Beyblade, Bakugan.
Hmm. I feel like those
Damn.
were
Damn.
later into our childhood, though. I guess it would be fine for kids who grew up in that era, but like we were like, it's not the same as like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, which was there even like before we were born.
Yeah. But like, I want to say, as a childhood, like in your child, like you were a child right now.
Hmm.
I don't know, because some of those jokes back then just wouldn't fly nowadays. There were some jokes like for Pokemon especially.
No, those jokes would fly. Yeah, honestly, they
Really?
need to bring more of those back.
Okay, but I know some of them were hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, but
Hey, Ash, you see those pretty girls in there? I can't believe they're right there, Misty. Oh, Brock, if you want to see a pretty girl, just turn around, Ash. All right, hey, Misty, come on now. Only one of us can daydream at a time. No, or bug type Pokemon are some of the worst things are one of the three most worst things in the world. And then Ash goes, okay, besides them and you, what's the other one? Like those jokes, they need more of that today.
I mean,
Those were uncalled for, and they hit different.
uncalled for but hilarious at the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
time.
Like they need more jokes like that.
But I feel like with the landscape, they're going for more shows that don't incite bullying. An anime, I think from back then, that still holds up really well. Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop will never be like not be good.
It
It's amazing.
perfect. It is one of, if not my favorite OG animes. That and Trigun. It gives you what anime you will like. The story is very simple.
Hmm.
You're a bounty hunter, but in space.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very simple
They don't
story that
really
you hear, but with a twist, which is like you're saying. It's about a guy who's just a bounty. He's a simple bounty hunter trying to make his money, but the twist is it's in space, which I mean, it's a very unique twist
the
and
stories
it
are
separates it from everything else.
The story is kind of episodic.
Oh, it. What do you mean? Kind of. It is.
Well,
There's an overarching story, but you could watch almost any episode of Cowboy Bebop besides the last two and the first, and be fine. And even no, you could even watch the first. It's literally just the last two.
is it also the last three?
I thought it was last two. If it's last three, it's last three. But my point is, like, every episode is episodic.
And that helps to the charm of it being a beginner anime.
Yeah, you don't have to really.
The comedy, it lands.
Oh,
I still
100%.
get a good gut laugh when I rewatch it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
The animation, of course, I still think it looks stunning.
It's good for what it was at the time, and it's nothing like that
It's not like
people can.
groundbreaking for
But
like
it's
nowadays.
yeah,
Like
but it's nothing like.
bad.
I mean, it was groundbreaking for when it came
Yeah,
out.
it's not like Seven Deadly Sins season 3 level bad,
You mean
but
Seven Deadly Frames?
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. At this point, I can live with that name.
Uh,
So that's personally what I think. Cowboy Bebop is still a good beginner anime, even though it came back in an era that you really wouldn't see nowadays. But
yeah,
what would you recommend?
one of them is My Hero. And I mostly say this because early My Heroes were really good. For someone to start off watching My Hero like that, I think would be amazing because you
The
get to see
superhero story.
a simple story. Oh, most of the world has superpowers. In this world, there's villains, there's heroes, and this kid, his dream is to become a hero. And so you see his progress throughout season one, season two, and three. And just watching Midoriya is kind of inspirational because if you go to episode one, he's literally just a middle schooler with no power, no nothing, and gets bullied all the time. And then
Oh,
look at him at the end of season three, or even like where he is now in the anime, like
yeah, season 6.
Vigilante Deck. Like my point is he grows so much as a character, and the earlier seasons really push like the fact that like Deku was a nobody, and you see his progress step by step. That it's very like just enjoyable to watch. You
And
know?
also, I think it's one of the few shows that in the beginning, the side characters are actually really
Oh,
enjoyable.
100%. That's the thing that I like about My Hero Soul. It's the characters. Every character feels alive. You know what I mean? There's very few characters where I'm like, why do you exist? I mean, there are some people like in the class, like what's his name?
I don't know. I kind of feel like the million.
The
I
million
just
got shafted so hard. It's not even funny.
I don't care for his character at all. Like if I
Why would
never
you? They
see him
wrote
again,
they handled most of it off screen, so why would you?
yeah, yeah,
He
pretty much.
there's never been a character who's like started up so high and just nosedive right back down.
Actually, when he was started here, he went up, and then went just below the average that he even came from.
He was, bro. I was so excited for My Hero Lucas, but
My
what
hero
happened?
Buff Lucas,
It's just yeah.
who
Like I was so excited to finally see Mother 4 or Mother 5. This is Lucas the sequel, but
uh,
after the events of Mother 3, he goes on, bro.
the story is there, but the million, I just didn't care for
Mhm.
it. In all honesty,
Okay, but after that, the other anime, you were talking about episodic episodes
yes.
of anime. I think when that's really good, it's a comedy and it's just really like enjoyable for people to watch. Think about One Punch Man. It's a very simple, funny story. I don't see an issue why I wouldn't recommend it to someone. It's about this guy who's bald and he can just punch anything he wants and just destroy it in one hit. The story's enjoyable. The characters are funny. Why wouldn't you? Because that look you're telling me is saying that like you wouldn't agree. So why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I? I'm trying to think. I guess if we were doing based on like the category we kind of or the requirements we kind of say for a beginner anime, doesn't start too high. It does
Hmm.
not start too high. It's a good introduction.
Oh yeah.
Likable main character.
Hmm.
Uh, not like not like a big story that's so convoluted that it's gonna just
It's
overwhelm
literally
you.
just who's the villain of the day and how long until Saitama gets there.
Yeah. Um, First season looks beautiful. Second season is passable.
Season 3 is on its way.
Season 3 is very much on its way, and hopefully probably 2024, 2025.
I think yeah. I think it's the end of this year, but
That's
it.
too soon, I think. I don't want to rush
Oh
them.
no, no, yeah, no, no. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up with something else. But yeah. Overall, I think One Punch Man is a great anime.
I think so. Okay, you know what? I'll give you that. I think
Mhm.
it's. But okay, if each one of us were to come like a top 3
I
anime
actually
to recommend,
had one more.
you have one
I
more.
won't go in detail. I'm just gonna say it, and you can speak
Okay.
your mind on this if you have any thoughts. Naruto.
No,
No.
no,
Why?
filler.
Top three. Top three you would recommend to
Top
anyone?
3. Okay, wait. This part, let
Um,
me. Let the thinking
I got it.
begin. Let's play like a I declare war game.
All right.
I'll go first. My first war card is Black Clover.
You didn't even mention that. That's a good one. Demon Slayer.
Okay, okay. My next card is Attack on Titan.
Mine is also Attack on Titan.
Okay, all
So
right,
it cancels out.
all right, all right.
Last one. I know what mine is.
It's like I have narrowed down to two of them, but I just talked about this one, so like it'd be wrong for me not to bring this one. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna go with my heart. My
Cowboy
heart
Bebop.
says Cowboy Bebop.
Mine is Death Note. Overall, I think
Yeah,
all the animes we just
yeah,
listed, all five of them are really good beginner
yeah.
anime. And yeah, if you guys enjoy this podcast, tell us in the comments what was your first anime. What got you? Mine was Fairy Tail. I mean, technically it was Pokemon, but really Fairy Tail.
I guess mine was just Bakugan, Yu-Gi-Oh.
But like, what got you into anime?
Oh, got me to
Because
anime.
I watched Pokemon as a kid, and that was my first anime. But what was the anime that got you into it? Because for me, it was Fairy Tail, which was my first real anime, I would say.
It's kind of hard to say what got me into anime because
Mhm.
realistically, it was you coming over to my house and forcing me anime down my throat.
You're
So,
welcome.
I mean, thank you very much.
Your wallet
I
thanks me
loved
too.
it. Like, I remember my house had no anime merchandise. The second
Mhm.
I met him, um, I'm down by like
A
two
lot.
thousand
Oh
dollars
god,
in
you
anime
said the number.
merchandise. So, you guys stay safe. Come back, watch this again, or stay tuned for some new episodes or some old episodes. Just join the channel. You will easily see any of them.
All right. So with that being said, you guys stay safe and have a nice one.
Peace.